Hello YouTube! Welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney and this is Courtney in Books. I am doing a little project today. You can tell that I'm doing a little project because, well, you can't really see it, but I'm in my crafting clothes, like my ugly crafting clothes. And actually it gets a lot uglier than this, but I put on a real shirt and a bra for you guys today. I did like whimsical makeup today and like a pink theme because what I am doing is this stack of lovely books with a lot of real estate. Well, except for this one. This one doesn't have a whole lot of real estate in the middle, but these are fairly thick books. I pulled these all off of my shelf. I have decided that I want to decorate all of my books and make them all sprayed edges. The ones that I really enjoy anyways. These were all pulled off of my shelf of honor, my trophy shelf, like books that I've already read that I loved enough that I wanted the physical copy for them. And the first one we're doing today is this lovely book, which is why, hence the pink makeup and the really pretty eye makeup that I am really proud of. This is Gambit by Sarah Adina, and this is the first book in her Elemental Origins series. I read this a while ago. I read it like when it first came out. I got the physical copy because I just love the cover so much. And I have decided that this is going to be the first book. This is probably the thickest book that I have right now that I've actually read. I have a lot of other books on my shelf that are equally thick and, you know, have a lot of space to do something really cool on the edges with, but I have not read them yet and I would like to read them and familiarize myself with the story before I do that. So I know this story. If you haven't read this book is very much like, when I was reading this book, I very much was thinking of like Barbie movies. I don't know if you've seen the Barbie movies. If you haven't watched them, because they're great. I love Barbie a lot. In fact, in another video, I showcased my Ken doll merman Barbie that I love so much. I love the Barbie movies and the Barbie mermaid movies, especially. Like, that is this book. If you added characters that were older, like adult characters obviously, and added spice. So if you're into that, but I've already talked about this book in another video. The point of this video is that I'm going to be spraying the edges of this lovely book and we're gonna see what happens because I have no idea, I have no plan for this book. Originally, I was going to take all of these books, all four of the books that I just showed you, and I was going to spray all of them in one video. I'm gonna take it a step further. And I am going to do something special for each one of these books. What that special thing is yet to be decided. We'll see. So I'm gonna bring you guys this way. Hopefully the lighting, if I do it this way, is still okay. It's not really okay. The side lighting is really showing my age. So, but we're just gonna have to deal with it because I actually am really proud of this background that I did. I created this book, got ruined in the car because I live in Arizona, and so leaving in the car for a little bit melted it, like literally melted it. And so all the pages fell out and I decided to, instead of getting rid of it, I decided to create whatever the hell this is. I think this is gonna be my workspace. You guys are gonna be all the way down here because I'm gonna like spread out my whole crafting station right here. So I got this fabric at Walmart. It was one of those like pre-cut things and I got it for a cosplay that I still plan on doing, but at the moment I want like a drop cloth or something to put on the floor here. And when I unfolded it, what the hell? I mean, what I was planning for it was literally like rags, so I guess it's fine, and now I'm just using it as a drop cloth, but I mean, the fact that I found a giant hole in it, I guess just means it was destined to be a drop cloth and not an outfit. Okay, so hopefully that's an okay view for you guys. I have my airbrush machine, which I thought I lost because I honestly could not figure out like where I had put it after we moved. And I was freaking out because I knew I brought it. It was very important to me, but I could not for the life of me find it. So I have had this airbrush machine for a very long time. I love this airbrush machine. I almost forgot all of my drinks, which would be just really sad. I I have a thing where I need all my drinks at the like 2 to 4 drinks is usually where I feel most comfortable. To be honest, I actually don't know how actual sprayed edges are supposed to be done. This is just sort of like something I thought would be logical. Okay, now to choose colors. So I more or less kind of already decided on colors for this book. Unfortunately, metallics and gloss paint does not work on, I'm using acrylics. Metallics and gloss paint do not work for sprayed edges, at least when I'm using this kind of paint. And also, metallic paint does not like my airbrush gun, and I've had to take it apart multiple times to clean it because of trying to put metallic paint through it. I don't have a lot of like bright colors, to be honest, because most of what I do, if you didn't know already, I have a side business where I do like horror art and stuff, and obviously things of the horror genre do not fit with like bright, beautiful colors. I have the book, and I made these out of like some really soft wood blocks that I got off of Amazon. And they're not super, it's not super ideal because I didn't have a saw to cut both pieces, so it's always kind of difficult to maneuver around this piece. But I still do not have a saw, so we're just gonna work around it. And her book is actually really big compared to other ones that I've done, so I hope that this works with my thing. I want to stress that this is not the proper way to do it. Usually you would make a new like clamp for a book that is a different size, but I don't have the time to do that right now, so we're doing this. And I got these at like Walmart or something. Holy shit! Her book is really thick, so these are barely fitting. When I said it had a fair amount of real estate, I meant it. It's not, her book's not lying as flat as I want it, and so that's gonna create like kind of a little space in the back of the book that I don't want paint to get on. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just trying to maneuver it so that all the pages are really squished together. Anyway, so usually you don't leave the back open like this, you would have something to cover it, but I don't have that. I'm very, very careful when it comes to like spraying things, and I'm not like selling these books or anything, these are just for me, so I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I started in makeup, like horror makeup. So I've been using an airbrush machine for probably about 13 or 14 years. And so I'm not gonna say like I'm the best airbrusher, but I do think I know a little bit about it. There's only one tiny part, you cannot see it. I was gonna try and show you, but you can't see it. There's one tiny part where her cover is not laying as flat as I would like it to, but I'm just gonna be a little bit extra careful with that. The colors on her cover are pretty muted, except like there's very, very light pink on the background, and the hair and tail of the mermaid is like blue, and there's a little bit of green in the lily pads. Just gonna have fun with the base color. Yes, base color, because this is not going to be this book's final form. You know what I don't have is my cup. I usually have a cup that is for cleaning my gun, so I will be right back. So I found another, God, I really hope you guys can't hear my knees cracking every time I sit down. Holy crap. It's from being over 30 and doing a lot of squats over the years. Pink. I think I'm gonna start there. Actually, no, you know what? I'm gonna start on turquoise because we're like light blue. You know what? I have one of her books as reference. I'm gonna look at it. Like just a recap of what the cover looks like in case you didn't like really catch it in the beginning. So a lot of like pastels, a lot of like muted colors. The front doesn't have a whole lot of like color happening, but the back does. So greens, blues, pinks. I think I'm gonna start with blue. This is me wishing I had a plan before I did this. Okay, I have a plan. prettiest shade of blue I've ever seen. Okay. The turquoise paint was bad, so I had to clean a clog out of my gun, which is nothing new. I can still use this for like my paintings, but for the airbrush gun, no. So I did like a light layer. The bottom is like blue, and then I did like, it kind of like faded into like a lighter layer of blue, and I'm hoping that once I put like pink over that it will kind of create a purpley effect. This is already watered down, so I'm assuming that I already used this for airbrush at some point. Okay, so I ended up having to do a lot of like cleaning, and I actually had to switch out one of my guns. So it was kind of a little bit of a mess. So I cut out a lot of that, and then my camera battery started like acting up and being weird. This is interesting. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you guys really quickly what the book looks like right now. So this is how the edges came out, and you can't really see it, I don't think, but the top does not lay as flat as the bottom does. Like, the side is okay, the bottom is gorgeous. Like, it came out so smooth, and the pages are just like really crisp. The top though, the paper does not want to stay completely flat. There are teeny tiny like micro gaps in the pages that I'm hoping didn't like make any of the paint like bleed or anything. I also decided, because I got an order off my website, I decided since I had my airbrush stuff out that I was just going to do one of my own books for that order. So a very productive day indeed. So what I'm doing now is I don't want to take this out of the clamps because everything is together very nicely, so I don't want to crack the pages yet. I have the original or the other copy for reference, because I'm going to copy the flowers and lily pads and see if possibly that works. We're going to hand paint that part because my airbrush, I can get that amount of detail usually with an airbrush. However, because my paint was like kind of acting up, I didn't want to risk like switching colors out that often and having to like get up every 5 seconds to go clean my airbrush. So we're going to hand paint and just cross our fingers. So I'm just like trying to emulate the font on the book cover for the edge of the book, which I just came up with right now. I had no plans, like I said. This looks really, really sloppy. I don't know if you can even see it. The light might reflect off of it a little bit, but we're gonna hope that it works, and we're gonna hope that I can clean off the excess like lead or whatever. Are we ready for a reveal? Okay, so I went and got an eraser really quick because there are some pencil marks that I want to get rid of. I'm just crossing my fingers that it all comes off smoothly without any weird eraser marks, and it is, and that makes me so happy. Please. I'm so excited and so scared. Okay. the part I'm scared about is the cracking of the pages, because I did hand paint a good deal of this, and that tends to lay a little bit, like the paint a little bit thicker, which, are we ready? I'm gonna show it to you before I crack the pages. Okay, so here's the top, here's the side, and here's the bottom. So I obviously focus a lot on the side because the side is the part that I'm going to have facing out on my shelf. Ready for this? Is that how you do ASMR? Okay, so the pages are cracking fairly well, but look at that. There's still a little bit of cracking to be done. Technically, I should be going through it like one by one, like one page at a time. But for right now, this is what we've got. Let's get a real final look at this baby. For this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I almost forgot to do my outro because I was so focused on getting all the like pretty shots of the finished book, but here we are. I took off my like bandana, I took off my bra, like I was ready to be done. Thank you all for watching this video. If you liked the video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and comment below if you would like more content like this, aka like bookish craft sort of stuff, because as an author, I don't always hit my reading goals, and therefore I can't really do the typical booktube thing where I do my wrap-ups and everything, because I don't always read as many books one month as I did the next month or the last month. So it's a little bit hard to keep up with that. I also have a lot of like more writing content planned because, again, I am an author, so a lot of my time is spent doing authory stuff and writing books and promoting and all of that. The reading kind of happens on the side nowadays. So just let me know. I would love to hear your guys' input. I have so many things I would love to put on this channel. Again, I really appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!